Nothing real new as far as the injury front goes. We have a couple guys that are just battling through, and those are the guys that we've talked about. So no real adjustments with respect to their availability. We're hoping for all of them to be ready to go, but nothing that's popped up this week to change it. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any update on the quarterback situation, or is it the same as Tuesday?
The same as Tuesday. We'll kind of unpack today, and they're both preparing as though they're going to start. And Joey will make the best decision for the team, and obviously being mindful of just working AJ back and making sure he's through that elbow. So we'll talk about it today and tomorrow, but nothing right now.
You've done a pretty good job at shutting down some pretty prolific running backs in the past couple of weeks. Florida's another team that likes to run the ball. So, what can you take from those previous games in terms of trying to shut that down?
When we've been good and effective in those games, we've had 11 guys on the same page. And in times in those games where we haven't been, where we've allowed for some space and some room, it's because we've been out of structure. And so defending the run is all about having 11 guys on the same page, seeing the things they need to see, and then taking the space to the ball early in the snap. It sounds maybe rudimentary, but it's when you talk about shifts and motions and different formations, they can create a little bit of confusion. So communication, eyes in the right place, taking the air out of the play early, those will be the things that will help us be successful on Saturday if we're going to have success against the run.
Played a lot of young guys on defense. How have you felt about the development of Martel Hyde, Cedric Alexander, and Brian Longwell in particular?
I think anytime you're playing freshmen, and two of those three are true freshmen, you're gonna experience some moments where they're learning through mistakes. And when you talk about the corner position, a lot of times your mistakes end up in this league going for touchdowns. And so some of those lessons are painful, but I'm really proud of Martel. I think he's done an incredible job because, he's stepped into a starting role in this program, and his mental toughness, his resiliency, not only from a standpoint of playing on Saturday, but also when you think about 7 consecutive game weeks, and then also, the first full semester in college. And there's a lot that goes on. And at this point, midway through the season, midway through the semester, it's a lot to manage. So I'm proud of the way he's handled that. I'm excited about his continued growth. I think he's got such a bright future ahead of him, and just really glad he's here. Brian Longwell, I think, has really made impact on special teams. We're starting to see more and more of him on defense. I think we're just scratching the surface of his potential. Again, he's learned some valuable lessons about tackling in space and vicing the ball. That's inevitable as a freshman. Trudell Berry has the luxury of this being his second year in the program, and I think he's battling through injury, but I think he's played really well, really clean, and so excited for him too. So all 3 bright spots. Obviously, we want to get to the point as a program where you look on the field and you're playing 3rd, 4th, and 5th year players. But to get to that point, it takes these moments too, where we're still early in this and playing youth.
How do you see things shaking up at, the will linebacker spot with Kane out this week?
Well, we have obviously Longwell and Rinaldi, and then Bryce Cowan too that can play over there. And so we'll use a mix of those 3 guys. And sometimes you do it where it's an even split, and you kind of go with the hot hand in the 4th quarter. So we'll be paying attention to where chemistry's built and who's playing with confidence. But we believe in all 3 of them that they can get the job done, so we'll be excited for them to do that.
Cedric Alexander caught, I think, 7 balls on Saturday. How big is him developing into a safety valve out of the backfield?
It's huge. You want your running backs to be complete players, and I think there was, again, we've struggled to get the run game going. I think we played better in our front on Saturday, which is encouraging, and now I think it's those backs seeing the cuts, maybe slowing down a little bit at times, and pressing the ball vertically. We'll find more in the run game. In the meantime, what you want to see is those guys being really strong in protection, being really strong blocking on the perimeter, and then obviously as receivers too. And Cedi did all three of those things really well. And so very encouraged for a young back to be that complete is exciting. And again, we just expect him to continue to build as the season goes.
When you struggle to run, it's the short passing game, something, I guess, especially with running backs, that you can use to kind of counteract that?
It is. You know, I think when you running and throwing and balance, really what you're trying to do is just you're trying to create efficiency on first and second down. And you can create efficiency by running the ball for 5 yards or throwing a hitch for 5 yards. And so, you know, both of those plays, you know, when you start to factor in tempo too, you can start to generate explosives through routine plays, but it really doesn't matter. It's about the rhythm, and it's about, again, establishing that efficiency. So, you know, we need to do a great job. If we can get the running game going, great. You know, if we can't, then it's about finding ways to stay on schedule and create momentum early in the drive.
With Junior Sherrill, obviously caught that touchdown. You're starting to see kind of the dividends with him early. What have you seen from him? I guess maybe when we haven't seen it.
Well, he's been impressive really since the summer. So, and I think it starts with the process for him. I mean, he's a mature young player that comes from a great program that was coached well. And I think I've been kind of waiting for his breakout moment. We had it on Saturday because I've seen the work in the workshop, and excited for him to have that moment. It's the first of many for him. And again, here's a true freshman who, you know, is yet really to physically develop all the way, but he's got great mindset and he's skilled. And yeah, we expect more from him. So it was excited to see him get his first, and just it's also excited to celebrate more with him as we move forward.